Premier Fighting Championships. Thank you. On tonight's fight card, we're going to have some of the best local and national fighters, MMA amateur fighters in the whole country, and it's going to be culminating in a title bout where we will crown our first ever PFC champion. The fighters know what their role is tonight. They're backstage, they're warming up, they're getting ready for everything. They're getting ready for war, ladies and gentlemen. But you all have a role to play here tonight as well. The more noise you make, the more they're going to be into it. If you cheer every lockup, every takedown, if you make a big scream every time there's a punch or a kick, you're going to see more and more from all of those competitors back there. So your role is to scream and shout and make some noise. So with all of that said, ladies and gentlemen, it's 5 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get going. Our first fight is an amateur featherweight bout, sponsored by Clonmel Transport. Please make some noise as I introduce first, fighting out of the blue corner, from SBG Cork, Roan Hurley! And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, from SBG Clonmel, Scott Hughes!
We are live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Talbot Hotel here in Clonmel, County Tipperary. You're all very welcome here. You're joining us for the second Premier Fighting Championship. We have a brand new cage here. Our fighters are ready for the very, very first event and first fight. In the cage already we have Roan Hurley. He's representing SBG Cork. And we're just waiting for his opponent, who will be fighting out of the red corner from SBG Clonmel. Incoming now is Scott Hughes. My name is Andrew Last. I'm joined here with Paul Brown. Welcome, Paul.
What's up, Andrew? Excited for some really good fights. We got an interesting one here ahead of us. These two guys making their debuts, both dedicated and really working hard in their training. I've spoken to both of them and their coaches pre-bout, and looks like we could be seeing a traditional sort of striker v grappler contest. So Roan is already in the cage, prefers to striking, and Scott, who's about to enter now, is very fond of his Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So
interesting
we
matchup.
could be seeing a fight where one guy is trying to get the other guy to the floor. Now we're in a massive UFC spec cage here.
Yep.
This cage is making its Irish debut, its competition debut. There's a lot of room to work here. So a striker with some good footwork could be an advantageous position.
Absolutely. Well, Scott Hughes is certainly that. So as you quietly pointed out, that both fighters are predominantly stand-up fighters. Interesting that you point out that Roan does like jiu-jitsu. Obviously that's a big part of SBG Clonmel also. So let's see, both fighters touching gloves, and away we go for round one.
Roan Hurley in the black trunks and Scott Hughes in the green. Nice exchanging inside leg kicks. We can see how much space there is out in that open water. Lots of room for cutting angles and making those nifty escapes.
Some nice in the pocket boxing going on here from Roan. Oh, nice overhand from Scott. These guys are swinging for the fences.
Wasting no time. Straight into the action.
Whoa.
Couple of very nice right hands landed there in that last exchange.
Nice kick. A little bit low, referee calling it. Both fighters touch gloves. Great to see such signs of respect between both fighters. Both fighters just trying to suss out the range again after that little flurry we had.
Yeah, the nerves are just settled a little bit now, and we're back into just working in that distance and looking to establish the jab, Hurley, and trying to find that timing.
How much do you think this will come into play, Paul? As you said, the UFC spec cage, you know, is cardio going to be a big issue with these fights tonight?
Well, yeah, it's definitely going to suit people that are basically in better shape to be on their bike and moving laterally and cutting angles. If you're looking to get your opponent to the mat, you don't have as much of an option to run them, bull rush them into the cage and take them down from there. It takes a little bit more work. You've got to sort of use your footwork to corral them into the corner of the cage and then press them up against the cage. So if that's your game plan, it's a little bit harder to execute with this extra space to play with.
Interesting to see here. Again, we were just after pausing here. Referee Dave Callahan is after pausing the fight for the moment from a low blow. Low leg kick from Scott Hughes.
There's been 2 so far.
Yeah. He does have that kind of Muay Thai style, that he does like those kind of quad kicks inside and outside.
Yeah, and of course the southpaw against the orthodox striker, so
you're going to get some awkward movements, yeah.
Yes. There, that right leg, that body kick is always there as an option.
You can see the inside left leg of Scott Hughes is just starting to bruise and welt up. A little bit more difficult to see with Roan. Obviously, he has the black skin shorts on him. But both guys giving it their all. Big strikes here from Scott and an overhand there from Roan. Got to be careful. Good takedown from Scott.
He turned around beautifully there when he looked momentarily like he was about to pull his opponent.
He has to watch the back of the head here. Nice body shots from the top.
Good exciting round. Some good heavy shots landed and both guys getting after it. Not showing much sign of nerves.
What way do you have it, Paul?
Oh, listen, it could be, it was a very tight round. It could be very, very close. You may see an advantage there for Scott Hughes just for the impact of those kicks to the body. So
absolutely.
He did very well, the body lock and the way he reversed his opponent to the floor and instantly started landing some heavy blows to the ribs.
Round 2, here we go.
Definitely the power in that right leg of Hughes is something to look out for. He's looking to walk his opponent onto it here.
Nice inside kick there by Roan.
And now we're up temporarily against that cage, but Hurley does very well to spin himself out and get away, but he's found himself back there again.
Nice turn into the cage though from Roan. He's after switching the position. Just needs to get his head position just tucked in underneath Scott's chin.
A little bit of pummeling and grip fighting here, trying to get that dominant position and establish something with which to work a takedown.
Nice knees.
Yeah, he caught that. Look, see the way he has that
Roan.
wrist control. He stopped Hurley from getting away.
He tried to spin around there, but again, he shouldn't have shown his back. He was very, very fortunate there not to give it up completely.
Absolutely. There's great control of the wrist by Hughes.
You can see he is fighting for this takedown, it does seem to be.
Danger of a guillotine here. Hughes needs to not dip his head too low.
Yeah.
He's nearly all the way around to the back with his head now, so he might be safe in that respect.
I think Rowan is just concentrating now and just sprawling and just kind of staying big and attaching himself to that cage there to make it as difficult as possible for Scott Hughes.
Yeah, and he's keeping a lovely white, well, I was about to say his white base is stopping him getting taken down, but
we spoke too soon.
Spoke too soon. He's on his backside now.
So he's in half guard position here, and he seems to be slicing through.
Yeah, what I'm liking here, when Scott Hughes gets his opponent to the floor, instantly he's looking to either progress or land shots. He's not just
big trouble now from Rowan here. Scott Hughes in mount position, and he's raining punches down. Referee Dave Callan's looking very closely at this.
Hurley needs to move. He cannot lie there. He's possibly giving up his back now. 2 hooks in from Scott Hughes. Real trouble for Roan Hurley here in the second round. still eating shots. He needs to keep moving. He needs to scramble. He's walking up the cage, doing very well. Scrambling out the back door.
He's got to watch the armbar here. Wow.
That's what you got to do in those positions. You got to scramble for your life, even if it means giving up a worse position.
I think we have a choke attempt on here. 10 seconds to the round. Scott Hughes wants this finished now.
He is really pushing the pace in this second round. Dominant positions. And definitely a second round in the bag. If the first one was a little bit of a guessing game, the second one left no doubt.
Absolutely.
And he did so, and we get to see a third round. Very impressive fight from these two young men so far, considering they're both making their debuts.
Absolutely. Fantastic representation of mixed martial arts here in Ireland. And both guys, you can see, are fatigued.
You'd imagine Scott Hughes is feeling confident now after such a dominating second round. Trying to go up high with that third kick there. And
yeah, Roan's got to be careful. Scott's after going body, leg, body, and he faked that last body and went high to the neck. He was lucky. Oh, big right hand from Scott Hughes.
Yeah.
And
they're
another.
landing now.
Oh. Scott staying composed here. Another good right hand.
Yeah,
Roan is still on his feet.
To be
fair to
Roan,
Roan,
he's sloppy and
his feet are planted. He is fighting back, but there's clear signs of fatigue from Roan Hurley.
yeah, he's feeling this now. The body shots of Scott Hughes really have caused those hands to drop.
Big right hand from Roan Hurley.
Trying to flip the script after a poor start to the third round. He's applied a bit of impact himself, and both guys taking a little bit of a breather here for a moment.
Yeah. I think Scott's going to just try and slow it down here. He has to establish wrist control here and then try for his takedown. Roan again, he has to be careful not to give up his back. Big takedown now from Scott Hughes. He's going to mount him, I think.
He's definitely pushing that pace, and we can see Hurley is just a little bit tired.
Yeah.
And not scrambling with the same fervor that he showed in round two. Hughes looking to really
he's pretty much mounted here. He's just trying to slide past that knee, but he's getting shots in. Right hand shots here from Scott Hughes on Roan Hurley on the bottom.
Yeah, we'll see does Hurley have the same energy to get out of this spot like he did at the end of round two.
Now he has his butterfly hook in here, it does Roan Hurley.
Not a lot of wiggle room with his back of his head pressed against the cage.
Yeah, and having walked around the cage there earlier, as we said, it's a brand new. This is the baptism of the cage here tonight at PFC 2, and you can imagine that all the fencing and everything is as it should be.
It's fairly sturdy.
There's literally no space to go when you have your opponent pressing you against the cage here.
Yeah, and the referee urging activity, urging the defensive fighter Roan Hurley to improve his position. But Scott Hughes doing very well, just keeping that pressure constant, picking the right shots and not burning his arms out. His knee on belly position just has his opponent trapped. 10-second clacker.
He's going to finish out the round strong here. He wants to finish, but will Roan fight through? He will.
I have to say, for two guys that are only training 9 months each, this was a very impressive fight.
Yeah, there was some very, very nice fundamental and basics that we saw here from both guys. Not only in stand-up, but on the ground as well.
Yeah, attacking and defensive. Some impressive work all round.
This will only add to their experience on their journey now through MMA. So it's fantastic to see these two young men, Roan Hurley from SPG Cork and Scott Hughes from SPG Clonmel. I think we're going to have to give this one, Paul, to Scott Hughes. I would say pretty much dominant all
You'd
3
imagine
rounds.
so, and in particular those final two. The first one, we kind of narrowly edged it toward him, but fairly clearly for me won the final 2 rounds. And between the powerful kicks to the body, going up top to the head, his grappling dominant and very aggressive on the floor. Not just taking his opponent to the floor, sitting in guard, or trying to sit there and hold his opponent, trying to do damage when he got there.
Yeah.
And your winner, by unanimous decision, fighting out of the red corner,